Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This week we're going to make a southern favorite, fried apple pies. My Mamaws used to make these all the time for us, so it's a comfort food for me. I even have some aunts that still make them. But I'm starting out with some apples that were kind of small. So I've got 5 of them diced, and in here with a 1/2 cup sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and a cup of water. We're just going to kind of cook this down. As it starts to cook down and the juices come out of the apples more, I'm going to add a slurry of just about a 1/4 cup of water with some cornstarch to help thicken it. So I'll bring you back when we're at that point. Alright, so I did a taste test and I did need to add about a 1/4 cup more sugar. And I put the slurry in, added a splash of vanilla and a tablespoon of butter. So now we're just going to let this cook down. The apples soften up. After that, this needs to cool before we make the crust and start frying the pies. So I will bring you back at that point. Okay guys, now we're making the crust for the fried apple pies. I've got 1 1/4 cup of self-rising flour. Then you want to use a 1/4 cup of lard or shortening, like Crisco. And you just want to cut this up till it's kind of evenly dispersed throughout the flour. I won't make you watch me do all of that. I'll bring you back as soon as we're ready to go to the next step. Okay, now I have an egg and a 1/2 cup of milk. I just want to get that combined. Then we're going to pour this right into our flour. And just bring all the flour in, get it good and moist. You can also use buttermilk for this. We're pretty wet, so I'm going to add just a little more flour. I just prefer to roll dough out on a surface that I've been able to put in a dishwasher. But by all means, you don't have to. That's a thing with me. I also have a pastry mat that I use sometimes. Just pull this out. Just keep folding it in until we get a little bit thicker dough. Okay, that feels much better. Okay, now I'm going to start cutting this. Or actually, we're just going to pinch off a piece. And we're just going to roll it. Roll it pretty thin, but not so thin that it won't be able to hold the filling. I'm going to stop there. You can see that's pretty thin. Alright, so I've got my apples here. I'm just going to get a teaspoon and put in, keeping it kind of toward the center. It's been in the fridge, so it's kind of gelled a little bit. Now you just want to pull it over. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to get a little water on my fingertip. And you just want to run a little bit of water around the edge of your crust. That's going to help seal it when you pull it over. Got a little bit of a break there. That's why I said don't go too thin. That can happen. Grab a fork and just kind of pinch the edges. Now I'm going to grab just a little piece of dough. Get it nice and wet. And I'm going to go right over that spot. Don't know with the next one not to go quite so thin. And that's pretty thin. I think I'm just going to do a little patch on that as well, even though it's not broken through. Don't worry if it looks ugly. When it fries, it's not going to matter. I did think about editing that out, but I wanted to leave it in case that happened to you. As you can see, I've been letting the grease get hot. I'm going straight in. It's not going to take it too long because the apples inside are already cooked, and then we've got a thinned crust. You can see around the edges there. Once I see it starting to get a little more brown, we'll flip it. Looks pretty good. Let's take a look. That looks really good. I'm gonna get a little more brown on the other side. And then this pie is done. Now, Mamaw never put frosting or glaze or anything else on her pies. You could, of course, use like a 1/2 cup of confectioner or powdered sugar and maybe a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons of milk to make a very quick glaze if you wanted to make it pretty and, you know, stripe it with a glaze or something like that. When I was growing up, Mamaw didn't do that. I've also seen people mix cinnamon and sugar and sprinkle over the outside as well. But my Mamaw didn't do that, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, we're going to take it out and put it on a paper towel to drain. And I'm going to go ahead and finish the others. Got a couple more in the fryer. And I did taste the other one, guys. Oh, it tastes just like Mamaw's. So I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I did go to the store and purchase lard. If I was going to make something like Mamaw, I knew I wanted it to be as close to hers as possible. And I know she cooked with lard. So there's lard in the biscuit dough. There's also lard that it's being fried in right now. And it's delicious. My little Mamaw lived to be 95 years old. She had biscuits, gravy, eggs, bacon, brown beans, cornbread, fried potatoes, these little fried apple pies. She was doing something right, so I think the lard played a part in it instead of these man-made products like shortening. But anyway, if you ever, if you're my age and thinking about Mamaw's food and you try to replicate it using oils and shortenings and something's missing and you think, oh, it doesn't quite taste like Mamaw's, that's probably what it was. So just thought I'd throw that little tip out there in case you're ever trying to get that flavor or that taste. A story for you. At church, my aunt had made these and someone made a comment that hers just tasted different than everybody else's. They tasted like an old-fashioned fried apple pie, and she just smiled and she leaned over to me and said, "Do you want to know why?" And I said, "Sure." And she said, "I bought some lard." So there you go. Thanks for stopping by today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video and that you'll try these. I hope you have a great week this week. Bye.